Hey everyone, it's Mad, along with Moogle today as my special guest, and today we're going to talk about my favorite unit, Trumpet's General Celes, and her friend Moogle and Umaro. So stay tuned. Alright, let's first talk about General Celes, who I think is the best magic tank currently in the game. And I will warn you, everyone, that I do have very rose tinted glasses on this unit, as she is probably my favorite unit of all time in FFBE, in all Final Fantasy, and will be the favorite of all time for me for FFBE, I believe. Her materia is interesting, but not the greatest for TMR. It's an SPR and MP 40% and increases physical and magic damage against aquatics by 50%. The one thing that I will say is that her this is one of the few aquatic killers that you can get, so it is a bit niche, but it is somewhat important, and I am going to get as many of them as I can. So each time I do get a Celes, I do plan on getting these TMR. So is it going to be used a lot? No. Is it somewhat important? Yes. Whenever you need those aquatic killers, that's when you're going to get it. Use it for. Now, her STMR, and this is only equipable by Final Fantasy VI units. But a lot of good units come from Final Fantasy VI, so this is a little specific, but it's not nearly as bad as some others. It is a sword. It has three very large stats: attack 180, magic 180, and spirit 180. And the passive also increases limit burst damage by 50%, gives you static attack, magic, and SPR by 250, increase physical evasion by 30, and increase magic evasion by 30. So this is just an absolute insane STMR, especially for Celes. And it is even debatable, depending. It could be very useful for Terra and for any of the 6 units coming down the line. I'm a little worried we might actually skip Cyan because of the fact that he is not on this banner, and we're getting Moogle and Umaro. But this is, even if it was just for Celes, this is a very, very, very strong sword for her. Her vision card is also pretty nice. It is base attack plus 100, base magic plus 100. So this is great for pretty much if we want to go with a hybrid unit, as it gives limit burst damage 25 and attack magic 50% to everybody. So this is really, really nice for the Elenas and any of the others that we use for hybrid. But also, her card can also give her increased static defense, attack, magic, and spirit by 300. So if you have her STMR and vision card, her attack, magic, and spirit go up by 550. And just remember that she is a very unique magic tank that uses spirit as her attack, and you'll see that she can actually do some damage with that as well. So let's just go through. Interestingly enough, she also has 30% ice resist natural to her, so that's just a bit of a bonus, and that will kind of help you understand what her Brave Shift does a little bit later on too. And she actually is also confuse immune as well. Her equipment's a very nice array of equipment, but honestly, you're going to be using her sword, and you're going to understand very quickly that she is going to be a true double hand user. So basically, you only really care about her sword. You can equip a shield with it as well, and at least on her main form. On her secondary form, I still think you're going to just go with true double hand as well. And she can equip pretty much any armor out of the gate.
行くぞ切り刻んであげる責任転 私を受け止めてくれる人が
Alright, now let's go on to her innate abilities. So for normal, she has Nethicite, so she can nullify her first spell cast for first turn. And her brave, and just to actually kind of go with this, her normal form is more of her tanky form. But she does do some pretty nice bonuses as well. Second form is increased attack, defense, magic, spirit 230% to all allies, while mitigating damage taken for 50% to all allies, and mitigate magic damage taken to all allies. So if a boss or a overall enemy uses just magic, she will do magic damage mitigation, and in case it is unblockable, all of your units will only receive 25% of that magic damage. Or even if there's physical going through, there's still the mitigate damage of 50%. And so she will even protect against physical by 50% and reduce it there for you. Along with, for her own 65 to 80%, remember, so there's only 25% left, it can be anywhere from around 5 to, I think, 4% damage total that she will take, and that is all on her. You don't need any other units. So it's not like there are that many that can actually do better, especially for 4 turns. There are some units that can do 1, and you'll actually see later on that she can even do more than this as well. She has triple cast, so any of her innate abilities and her white, black, and green magic as well. Very, very, very useful. She can basically cycle through anything that she wants. Her only other part of the kit is she does magic damage based off of her SPR. If you cast this, she does increase, do provoke as well to the caster, and she will mitigate physical damage and also damage taken even higher. So what you can do is you cast this for the magic. You will also get the physical damage decreased by 50% and a 75% there as well. So even with so it's a boss that does all magic attacks along with just the normal physical auto attacks. Those physical auto attacks will only take 12.5% of what it's normally attacking, and that's before any breaks, etc. throughout there. So she can attack, she can provoke, and she can cover everyone for magic within the same first turn. But one of the things that she does do is she has a ability that for the first 5 turns that she can protect all allies 100%. So she can even do against preemptive attacks. She will cover all allies as well. She does increase limit gauge 60 caster for her, and she does her auto attack is SPR scaling as well, and it will increase spirit, and even if she gets berserked, usually for a tank that's a horrible thing. What it will do is she still will be able to guarantee that she will do magic damage coverage as well. So even if she gets berserked or confused and attacks, she will still be able to cover all magic damage for your team. Now let's just go through here. Already she's got a 50% chance of target. Remember, if you do the attack, it gives you another 100% on top of it. She has the autocast ability here, which will give her LB at EX plus 2. She increases her LB gauge at 4 already there. She does recover MP at 5%, so having a very large MP pool will keep her going throughout there. She has the ability, as I say, to autocast at the start of a battle for protection. She, when equipped with a sword, she gains 50% to the 4 main stats here. But what's really nice is if you have, she gains 200% more SPR, defense, HP, and MP already. Her LB damage is already at 150%, which honestly for her is not that big of a deal. She has chain modifier cap of 100%, so if you add indestructible light, she hits max cap while being true double hand, and she can increase equipment SPR 200% when single wielding any weapon with or without a shield. And if you give her her STMR or TMR, that goes up to 300%. And that includes her shield, so you can actually hit very, very high spirit stats with her. And remember, she gains up to 550 more spirit static as well. And you could just go throughout here. She is a spirit machine. Now, others is, as I say, her normal upgrade attack is this one right here that gives all this bonus, which also increases her spirit. Very interesting unit. And has the increased physical magic damage against aquatics and dragons as well. Because, why not have your tank be a powerhouse too, just for fun? Her magic is interesting. She has Dispel. She has Blizzarga. She has Holy, so she can decide, what? And it'll be and she also has Spirit scaling with this Holy. So her Spirit is generally going to be higher than what we can do with Aerith. So this is another way to, because once again, it's like we need more of this, but this is a great unit. You can do Carbuncle Trick with her, and she can even heal as well. And remember, this doesn't look very high, but that 3.4x is based off of her spirit, which is incredibly high. So she can also heal your units very, very well. And all of these can be triple casted when needed. Now her Limit Burst. She has 135x with spirit scaling. Now remember, she also has the 150% boost, so her limit burst is already boosted by 150%. Her spirit's incredibly high, and she is a tank. She can do an insane amount of damage with her limit burst. But, just like Ginsu Knives, that's not all. Gives 80% damage, magic damage, reduction to all allies. So all of a sudden you're down to 4% for this turn. So you're more than likely in a lot of battles that are going to go through some of the transitions and some major attacks by bosses. Well, she'll cover you there too. And in case it's against aquatics, will also mitigate 80% to both physical and magical damage against aquatics. So if there's an aquatic boss against this unit, they're royally screwed. The limit burst, basically as you level, you reduce the cost from 99 to 60. And now let's go to her brave ship form. Alright, for her brave ship form. And once again, she has so much that's going on. Her EX3 ability is a really powerful ability, but it's nothing that's like, worthless without her. But it's increased physical and magic damage against dragons, 160% for 4 turns to all allies, 5-turn cooldown, but you can use it on turn 1. So it's 80% uptime, which is pretty fantastic. She has also a 6-turn cooldown, which is a slightly less damaging one, but it's for avians and dragons for 100%. She also increases limit burst damage, and every 6 turns can increase limit burst 30% on her brave shift. Remember, you're most likely going to be switching from her normal form to her brave shift form. So what you're going to have is she's still going to be able to be magic tanking, and this is one of the few units that you're not going to be too worried about. We didn't go over this, but she is a true brave shift, so you can go back and forth without any limitations. So the only limitation to this unit is that she is only allowed to use one side each turn, then you can go to the other. Generally, for battles, I'm going to stay in her normal form when the battle starts so I can get the pre-cover. And then I will decide on which one I want to go with. But in all honesty, that the choice is yours. Maybe you don't want to be covered by magic for some strange reason, so you want to go into the brave shift form first. But really, that's the only way I think you're not going to start in your normal form with Celes. She also has the ability in her brave shift form to be a ice elemental booster as well. So remember, she is a tank that can do damage, and for ice, she also gives incredible support. So she can, with this skill, she will increase attack, defense, magic, spirit by 250%. Yeah, it's not nearly as high as a lot of the other direct support units, but considering she tanks and can do damage, this is just absolutely insane. She compresses rolls incredibly efficiently, and the very interesting part is that on turn one, if you started the battle in her Neovision form and switched to her Brave Shift form, you've already got her tank. She can then increase your attack, defense, magic, spirit by 250%, give ice element to everybody. Then she could still attack, or she can even increase damage against avians, dragons, limit burst, and increase LB gauge, all in the same turn, and on turn one. So her roll compression is incredibly tight, and it is very well designed that you can actually use many of those rolls on turn one. She has the ability to, as I say, to do the three as well. And her main skills, just like the previous one: magic damage 60x, mitigate damage, physical damage taken. And once again, she can also provoke, and it's her. For this form, she doesn't have the innate provoke, but still, you can design her however you choose. Very, very well designed, very powerful kit. EX2, she gets her limit burst plus 60. Once again, her MP and limit burst are there. Attack, defense, magic, spirit by 50%. She gets only 200% spirit when single wielding any weapon. And also, the one other thing here, she doesn't get the plus 100% there for her chaining. So she is a little bit weaker in the damage capability here, but her support is incredibly strong. You will be spending most of your time in General Celes' form in her Neovision compared to her Brave Shift form, but still, you'll be swapping back and forth when needed. Her skills here, she has defense, Shelga, and now it's been upgraded, so it's also 50% mitigation, heal, and dispel. Her limit burst here is very, very interesting. So, her Brave Shift still isn't the most powerful attack, defense, magic, spirit, but it turns into a Lord of the Seas Nicole type for ice, where it does 45%, 4 turns to all allies for damage, increases limit burst, and it adds ice elemental attacks 4 turns to all allies. So both of her Brave Shift forms are both of her limit bursts are very, very powerful. One of them gives you incredible defense with boosts, and the other one gives you incredible ice offense with boosts. So a very strong unit. Is not totally dependent on ice to do damage, because the way that it works here, she can do damage with whatever skill set she has. She can be imbued by other units to do elemental skills. But if you're looking for ice and a magic tank, she can do it all in one. But she is the premier magic tank right now. and is going to be a unit that I am going to love, enjoy, and basically have on my team at all times. So, let's get on to the 5 stars to 7 stars, starting with. So, we are going to go to Moogle of Narsh Mog. Passive STMR or TMR is Moogle's Intuition. Decreases encounter rate by 50%. Recover 8 MP every step during explorations and increase experience gained from battles at 60%. In all honesty, this TMR is not really all that useful. We don't have that many explorations. Maybe in the future it'll become more useful. I will make sure that I get a couple. I might even just get all 5 in case that explorations make a comeback in Season 4. So far they really haven't, but we shall see. So very, very niche, not super important. Don't go really farming for it unless if you're a brand new player, then this will be very helpful for some specific explorations, especially when you're doing some of the really, really long explorations from Season 2. If you haven't done them already, then this will be helpful. But otherwise, it's an incredibly niche TMR. The STMR, I'm also a little disappointed. It's a two-handed weapon, so it has nice variants. Spear, attack 170. The positives here is has 2 killers, bird killer, stone killer, which are fairly rare, especially on spears. So it will have a use, and very soon with the damage change coming into effect, 170 two-handed weapon doesn't get reduced in damage overall with the battle formula, so it will become a little better. But all in all, the Trustmaster and STMR here are pretty lackluster. If this had a jump damage as well, because usually when you go spear you think about dragoons, I'd be a lot more interested, but there's no jump damage either, so I just don't foresee a lot of use with this spear. Armor selection is decent. Weapons is only daggers and spears, and has the ability to use materials as needed. We're going to go through this real quick. Has the ability to triple cast. Has physical damage from one enemy with Stardust Ray. Is a jumper here with the Dragoon, but once again, as I say, and it's not a very high physical damage. Has the ability to increase tech there with limit burst damage and increase limit burst gauge to all allies. This is one of the more interesting uses. Get him, just put him into a party. You really need to get, say, 60, and you have 4 Mogs, and all you're looking for is just quick damage. You can Stardust Ray, triple cast Stardust Ray after turn 1. Theoretically, if you survive, that's kind of where I see the use for Mog. Otherwise, it's fairly The other thing here can do wind or ice fixed damage, adds wind or ice to everybody, and gives area of effect, which reduces the resistance to the enemy as a field. So it has that as well, but basically that's all Mog does. Normal attack is interesting. That has a physical damage and can petrify. So in all honesty, to all enemies, this is a unit that you can use for arena. Arena meta is not really available anymore. Yeah, it's not that interesting. But this is where a unit that can help you there. Has jump damage, can increase HP, has limit burst gauge 7 per turn, which is actually fairly nice. Wants to equip a spear and is an insect damage. But I'm going to be honest. Other than some shenanigans. How much are you going to use it for? Not a great deal. It does have insect damage 25% as part of its limit burst, and it can go up to 75% if you get up to 7-star, and has some MP recovery as well. But all in all, as a unit, is fairly disappointing to use. You will be able to do some arena shenanigans with the petrified physical damage here, but otherwise, the main thing that you're going to use it for is you need like 15 limit burst gauge and either wind or ice damage. And even with ice damage, the only thing that you're really going to do is the area of effect. You'll help maybe with Celes. Give that there. Celes will give bonuses other size, and then at that point you murder on the next turn. Maybe. Otherwise, this is a unit that I'm fairly disappointed with, but it does have some uses. But as I say, most of those uses are in arena. So now, out of that disappointment, one of the more exciting units I think that's come out in a while. Let's go to Umaro. All right, and Umaro. So this is a very interesting unit, and it's actually going to be quick, but I think some people are going to be very disappointed in this unit. But this unit's very, very true to the FF6, and I actually see a couple of interesting uses for it that are actually kind of useful. Excuse me. So the first one is TMR fighting method. Increases resistance confuse 100%, and normal hit attack hits 2 times. Honestly, the only unit that really cares about this is Malo himself, or Umaro, and you'll see why in a minute, but otherwise, don't go too crazy for it. I do like this STMR though. The Blizzard Orb, attack 50, gives fire resist 30, ice resist 50, and gives you death resist 100%. Just that alone, I would be very interested in, but let alone the physical and magic counter with a normal attack by 1x as well is also very, very interesting. This one I do see actually some decent uses out of it, and all in all, this one I'm actually pretty happy and would like to get one or two of as well. So let's just kind of go here. The attack here, you can see is just there. Very, very low magic, and that's okay because he's never ever going to cast a single magic spell. Weapons, very limited, but it's Umaro and has a bonus to unarmed, but still, you're going to probably use a weapon, highest attack, and maybe anything there. Notice the armor's very, very liquid metal slime like, only can use rings, and honestly, you can see its innate abilities. It has none. Why? Well, at it gains Berserk at the very beginning of the battle, and so that gives an additional 300% attack. And all in all it will do is auto attack. And so let's kind of go through what it will do. It has the ability to randomly use either 64 X damage to all enemies, or 30% will do ice physical damage to all enemies with a bolting strike chain. So it is a auto unit that will attack all enemies. Now, remember, if you do have his TMR equipped, he will do 2x. And I foresee that this is a great unit to use in Item World, and will just allow you to quickly go through and blitz out enemies overall. It can, at the beginning of the round 2, increase the limit burst damage 150%. and what it can do is decrease defense here for the enemies as well. And we'll do it automatically. Has 200% attack defense, and there increases its own limit burst damage. Has static going up there. Has ignore fatal damage as well. So if you do unarmed, you get in another 200% attack. But in all honesty, that's not. If you look there though too, you've got 200 here, and if you have this TMR, or not TMR, you gain a two-handed attack, 200% attack there. So there's no real reason to go unarmed. You have your chain modifier cap as well, magic and stones, and you get 200% there. So look at this for single wielding any weapon has 400% already. If you look at the attack here, you have 200% plus another 200%. So 200% here. And if you add there, there's another 200. But you also have the 200 here. So he already maxes out for attack there. Very, very, very nice. So what are you going to do? He has the 4 ability slots as well to add. What should you do? Well, the thing that you really want to do with him is you're going to add killers, and also you want to add the ability to equip helm or equip armor. And if you do that, then you gain even more slots for there. So you kind of trade some slots there, but if you look here, you don't really need anything else. So he's pretty easy to equip. If you also, might want to give him an insane there, that he will do a lot of physical damage. So I do suggest for him, give him his TMR. So that's 1 slot. Give him a equip armor type thing, either with for a accessory or there. And if you can also do equip helm or something, and you will have a very, very nice, powerful unit for item world and maybe some other things as well. But all in all, I really do like him. He's a unique unit. I see a place for him that's there, and he's very true to form on from FF6. So here's the 3 units go there. I know I've gone through this in very excruciating detail, but if you have any questions, please let me know. Please give a like and subscribe. I am doing a race to 500 subscribers. If we get it by the 15th of September, I will give out a $10 gift card to either Google, Apple, or Amazon. So I hope we do get there, but more importantly, I hope that you guys are safe, and I will see you guys later. Bye, everyone.